All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakah HaKodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere Shalom to Yakim, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. And as you see right here, this article is from sknis.gov.kn, and it reads, the National Digital ID System on track for mid-2026 rollout, right? Which we understand this is a physical system in which Esau is going to implement through his technology, man, right? Because what he's doing is he's gradually ushering in his technocracy, man, right? And this all leads down into the road to the MOTB, the CHI to the P, man, right? So let's get into it. It says, Bassetary St. Kitts, July 21st, 2025. The National Digital ID System is progressing according to plan, according to Prime Minister. This is Dr. Terrence Drew. Full rollout of the project is expected by mid-2026, and a pilot launch is scheduled for January of next year. So here it is. And just like we told you, man, Esau is pushing this thing. Hey, like the scripture says, matter of fact, right? This is Revelation. Matter of fact, 12 and 10, right? And I'm going to jump down to 12. It says, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Right? So ultimately, Esau knows that he's on a clock, man. Hey, just like when you flip that sand dial and those granules are basically spiraling down into the bottom. Well, A is on a clock according to Yahweh Shai's time, man. Which means what? He's doing all that he can in order to fast forward or to forward his enterprise. Though the scriptures tell us, the Most High will not allow him to fully set forth that enterprise. And he disappointed the devices of the crafty, right? But Yahweh Shai is going to allow Esau to get it unto a certain, level, man. Because the people have to receive this device, because these are going to be the same individuals who are going to partake within the second death, right? Who are going to trust in this system and bow down into the image of the beast and receive the mark of the beast, man, right? Which is the CHI to the P. Yeah, so let's get back into it. It says, appearing on Freedom FM's Issues program on Thursday, July 17, Prime Minister Drew emphasized the importance of the digital ID for transforming public services, stating it will allow people to apply for birth certificates, passports, and other services entirely online, eliminating lines and paperwork. Right? So here it is. They're going to shove convenience down your throat, man. Right? In a way, we're telling you, oh, well, look, you don't have to wait in line anymore. You don't have to schedule an appointment anymore. You don't have to physically be at a DMV anymore. It all can be done through an online portal. And people are going to do it just because they can do it. They can access these things or get these government issued IDs and or paperwork through online services, man. Right? So just that in itself, if E was like, hey, we're no longer doing DMV visits physically, it's all going to be online, people will be happy that's done, man. Nobody wants to wake up super early in the DMV, whether you have an appointment or don't, right? So knocking that part of the burden out, that's gonna be enough to seal certain people with receiving of this device, man. Right? And it's that simple with the American public. We seen that company 3 Square when they came out with, you received this device, now you can eat snacks out of the break room vending machine, man. And people did what? They literally went and got that device and put it into their hand just so they could access the snacks within that room, man. Here in Sweden, it's like not here, but in Sweden, they did it to access what? To be able to get into the clubs. So when the American people are starving, because what Esau is going to do is he's going to put you in straits, man. We always go into order out of chaos or order out of chaos, right? Or the Galilean dialectic, problem, reaction, solution. And he knows how to, tick you off to the point of where you're destitute, into where you're begging for him to give you a solution. He knows exactly how you're going to act because he's experimented on you, man. You think the food that you're eating is just, for your nutrition? No. These are all chemicals. So when he shuts off the access to certain chemicals, he's going to make sure that you move in a certain way because he's going to corral you in that direction. Right? This is Revelation 13. Let's get to the point. I'm going to start here at 12. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 11. And it reads, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth." Right? "And he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." Those 2 horns represent the ancient plebeians and patricians, which are now your modern day Democrats and Republicans. Right? And it said, like a lamb. Right? A lamb is a creature that's docile, a creature that isn't physically, frightening, or intimidating. It says, "And he spake as a dragon." Right? It gives the appearances that docile, innocent creature. But really, is draconian, man. That word dragon goes back into Draco or Draco, right? So let's go into it. G1404, it says dragon, a serpent, right? When you go into the Thayer's Greek lexicon and Hebrews, I know it's another one. It says Draco. Dracone, right? Let's go to draconian, right? Of or pertaining to Draco, the ancient Greek statesman, in reference to laws rigorous, extremely severe, or harsh, right? And what he did was, regardless of whatever law was broken, the consequence of that law being broken was death, man. And that's how Eve's about to return. That true Edomite spirit, now will I utterly slay my brother Jacob. That spirit is about to return back unto the earth, a tenfold, man. Because the Lord is going to use forth Esau to, as the scripture says in the book of Isaiah 10:6, right? He's going to send them forth upon that hypocritical nation. Speaking about you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And Yahweh Shema Shah is going to allow Esau to slay y'all, man. Ultimately, if you're not in the hedge of the Lord, then you're numbered. This is 12. It says, he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, speaking of the Roman Empire, and causes them that dwell, and causes the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Right? Hence the revitalization of the Roman Empire, which is what we have today, this Greco-Roman beast system. Right? It says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Right? He has his heart programs. He has his dew technology, which is concentrated fire ultimately. It says, and deceiveth them that do on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Right? Here it is. You're seeing, Neuralink, doing more experiments on people to get them vision back, to get them certain mobility within their joints and their limbs back. Is never a full healing, but nevertheless, it is a left-handed miracle. It says, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that do on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which hath the wound by a sword and did live. Right? And the image of the beast is not no Caesar Borgia, man. Right? Parts of the image of the beast are what? This man's philosophy in terms of what? His education system, his Food and Drug Administration, his Hollywood industry. Right? All of these are part of his pharmakia. Right? His politics. The policies in which he's telling you people are going to benefit you. This is all part of his image of the beast, man. Right? Continuing, it says, which had the wound by a sword and did live, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right? And this is the same pattern which happened in the time of the Grecians, man, under Antiochus Epiphanes. He said, any Israelite contending into the religion of their kings, or their fathers, right, they were to be put to death. So what? Israelite women stopped doing what? Circumcising their children. And Jake became a heathen during that Greek captivity. Because if they kept the customs of our people, hey, they were put to death. That's the Hellenization of Israel, man. That's the Gentiles in which the New Testament is speaking about, whom the church or the letters of the churches are addressed to. It's Israelite foreigners, Jake, who lost their way and whose heritage was stripped from them, just like our heritage was stripped from us here in America. Right? It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right here it is. He is telling you, as the scripture says in the book of Proverbs, I believe 17 and 15. Matter of fact, I'll grab it. It is Proverbs 17 and 15, and it reads, he that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Right, so in this society, wickedness is uplifted and righteousness is cast down. Right, and that's the point right there. In the 15th verse, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right? And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And so let's go into it, because this article spoke about what? It says, appearing the issues program on Thursday, July 17th, the Prime Minister Drew emphasized the importance of the digital ID for transforming public services, stating it will allow people to apply for birth certificates, passports, and other services entirely online, eliminating lines and paperwork. Right? Lines and paperwork. So with this rolling out and where is this? St. Kitts how do you say that? Basseterre. We understand this is happening here in the States as well, man. It's not just a foreign thing. Esau is doing this globally because he wants global domination. It's not just about one country or one specific group of people. Ultimately, it's about, Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, that he's targeting. But, he wants the whole world CHIP'd up, man. He wants the whole world CHIP'd up because he wants ownership of everything. He wants your soul. Right? So it spoke about all your information. So we're going to go into this word charagma, charax, and graphos, right? It says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? So the word mark is charagma. G5480 says, of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand is the badge of the followers of the anti-anointed, things carved, sculpture, graven. Right? So when you go into this root word, is charax, a pale stake palisade, or the tool used in order to bring forth the MOTB. And this is the point, graphos, right? G1125, it says, to write or express in written characters, to write with reference to the contents of the writing, right? It says to fill up with writing, with reference to the form of the letters, to delineate letters on the tablet, parchment, paper, or other material, right? Which is all basically the information that you have for every physical copy of information. He wants to make sure that that can be thrown away or burned, and now you're stuck in the system forever. Right? And that's for graphos, which is the information stored within this device, like your birth certificate, your bank account information, the social security number. We can go on and on and on. It says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their foreheads. It's like a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast or the number of the name, right, or the number of his name. Now, when you go into that no man might buy or sell, is speaking of what? Transactions. Because without the MOTB, and you will not be able to, navigate within this world, man. We're ultimately going to have to lean fully upon Yahweh Bashim Shai and hold on to our faith and understand that the Lord is going to, provide for the necessities that we need, right? It says, here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now, when you go into this word stigma, right? See, this is 666, G5516, right? But we're going to go into this root word here, stigma, which is G4742. It says, a mark pricked in or branded upon the body to ancient Oriental usage. Slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. So anybody receiving of this device is clearly showing that, hey, he is your Lord. He is your God, man. Right? It says, and there was even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. And you see that within Jacob and their fraternities. You know, the black boule members, so forth and so on, man. Right? But more importantly, you know, it's about the CH out to the P, man. Right? Because this is what's happening, man. And there's no getting away from it. There's no shying. It says a mark pricked in or branded upon the body, showing forth your ownership or your allegiance. Right? And that's why it says right here, for recognition of ownership, figuratively a scar of service, mark incised or punched, pricked. So here it is. Right? Just another, warning of prophecy. That the scriptures are undefeated. The prophecies which lie in the Holy Scriptures, none can come up against. Because ultimately these are the words of Yahweh. You know? But this is happening in Bassaret, or however you say it. But we understand it's only a matter of time before it hits the States. See, right now, he is moving very slick because he understands that the American population, and this is where it's at, capital of St. Kitts. He understands that this and it's Benjamin. He understands the possibility of people uprising, causing civil war, going in your streets, rioting and looting, is going to happen, man. Right? Because not everybody here is going to be completely down for this system, especially not especially the Bible Belt Bible Belt Edomites, man. They understand and they're reading, they're watching our lessons, so they understand that this is the point that it has to come down to. But as the scripture tells us, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty. Paraphrasing, as we're pulling down these strongholds through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai Shai. But the digital ID is coming, man, or it's like the MOTB is coming. Technically, it's already here. It just hasn't been made mandatory yet. But when it does, that we're close, that we're very close. Yahweh Shai is moving things in the favor of the elect. And we hope and pray that we be of that number. But that's the point here on this lesson. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Harakah HaKodash. A double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone. And a sincere shalom to Yakim, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. Shalom.